Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics, raw, real, relatable podcast. We're your hosts, Susan Robbins, certified epigenetic human performance coach,
and Kate King, licensed psychotherapist, board-certified art therapist, and award-winning author. Together, we bring two perspectives, two styles, and one shared passion for epigenetics.
On this podcast, we delve into topics such as environment, nutrition, fitness, mindset, social dynamics, and trauma as they pertain to epigenetic expression in a way that's relatable to everyone.
We recognize that everyone's needs are unique. There are no one-size-fits-all solutions for your mind, body, and heart. The true magic lies within you.
So if you're ready to create a radiant life through epigenetics and reclaim your authentic self, then buckle up. Here we go. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable Podcast Mini. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, and yes, this is where we talk about everything lifestyle and environment and how it relates to our genetic expression. So I have a fun one today. I'm with a fellow PH coach and dear friend of mine and former client. She's been on the show with her two lovely daughters, the Ladies St. Ledger podcast. If you haven't seen that one, look it up. A diplomat, and her name is Lisa St. Ledger. And we are going to talk today about some holiday tips to get you through the holiday season. Now, it's also to help you get through winter, okay? Because the holidays take up a good part of the winter season, but everybody says this is a sick season. It's flu season. And I'm putting all these in air quotes. It's flu season, cold season, COVID season, whatever the hell your poison is. But it's actually an overindulgence in alcohol and sugar and too much stress and lack of sleep season. That's really what it is. So the tips we'll give you today will also help if you carry them start them now and carry them through the winter. I guarantee you that you will not have all this sickness. You will be building your immune system instead of breaking it down, because all of those things I mentioned, booze, stress, lack of sleep. Now, let me clarify, unchecked stress or unmanaged stress. We're not going to lessen stress. It increases during the holidays, whether it's things with family, work, like vacations, those can cause stress. All of those things. We have good stress and bad stress. So you're not going to lessen your stress. You have to find the things that work for you as far as managing and getting the recovery from stress. And then the lack of sleep because you're out partying, holiday parties, and people don't want to go home and they're getting to sleep at 2 a.m. It's affecting everything. And then again, the sugar. It decreases your immune system. It lowers vitamin C, vitamin D. It affects magnesium. So many of these things that are real drivers for our immune system and dials up inflammation, SNPs, like IL-6, TNF alpha. So we're going to get into some, pun intended, meat and potatoes of how you can best navigate these holiday parties that are going to start happening, whether you're having them or you're going to someone's house. So, Miss Lisa St. Ledger, welcome, welcome, welcome again. Great to have you aboard.
Thank you. Lovely to be here today. Excited to talk about the holidays, my favorite time of the year.
All right. We'll go ahead and start with you. We'll go back and forth on some of our holiday tips because I know we're in alignment with some of them, and then we have little tiny differences on some others. Now, you're a newer coach. I've been coaching for over 10 years, so that's where some of my experience will come in is really having heard a lot with people. But what's great is both of us are PH coaches. We understand how the health types differ in how they work with stress and food. So I think it'll be a really fun discussion. And we can't agree on everything all the time. Exactly.
Bringing two different perspectives. And what I love about it is you're an activator, so you want to go, 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 go. I'm a diplomat. I like to plan, plan, plan. And
Yep.
so I think we're also approaching the holidays from our unique health type and our unique perspectives on things too. So hopefully it'll add a richness to the conversation.
Absolutely. All right. Let's start with you. What is your first tip for the hot? And I'm going to tell everybody, if you are watching this on YouTube, you probably just want to listen. I I injured myself doing wall balls yesterday, like, right in the 3rd round somehow, went down into the squat and just, somehow right up the back and glute, and so I'm on my ball chair, and I am constantly moving. So if you are easily distracted by movement, please do not watch this podcast today. Turn off the video, go to audio only because I need to keep moving, and I'm distracting myself at this point. So, at least you might wanna close your eyes too.
No, I'm all good. You can move away. That's fine with me.
Alright, so that being said, go ahead with tip number 1.
Okay, so tip number one for me actually starts prior to the holidays. So before you even enter into the holidays, I think it's really important to set your intention. What is it that you want to make the most of during the holiday and set that as a priority? One of the things I love to do is just to make a list of 3 words. And these are the 3 words of how I want to feel at the end of the holiday. Do I want to feel rejuvenated? Do I want to feel joy? Do I want to feel excitement? What is it that I want to feel when I am done celebrating the holidays? Because, like you said, oftentimes we feel like we need a break in January. We need a holiday to recover from our holiday.
Like a vacation to recover from the vacation you just took. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's where we're headed today is really talking about how to manage the holidays so that we finish them with our goals in mind. So, what do you want the holiday season to feel like? What matters most to you? And then how can you make space for those priorities so that you can get through the holidays accomplishing and feeling and creating all of the moments that you want to create. So that's my first tip is really sit down and be mindful about how you want to navigate them.
Love it, which is why we're putting this out before the holidays so that you can plan it. I might be spontaneous as an activator, but again, you're planning it out. I'm gonna plan. I just plan closer to the event or closer to the moment, but you still have to. It's something that you really need to consider, whether you consider it quickly or you start considering it now. So attention to all of you guardians, diplomats, censors, create that safety in there for yourself when you go somewhere. There, but even the crusaders, future focused. How do you want to take this on? For we activators, connectors, we can be like a little more adaptable and do this a little shorter term. Think of it 2 days beforehand as opposed to weeks beforehand. But whatever works for you, plan it. So I love the intention. And I just wanna add to that, some people are more visual, some are more like how do I wanna say this? So if you're thinking it, some people can visualize, how do I picture myself at the end of this? Or like you said, how do you feel? Because some you ask, "How do you wanna feel?" I don't know. But if you say, visualize, how do you see yourself January 1st? What do you picture? Do you picture, like you said, somebody vibrant and full of energy or going, "Oh, stick the fork in me, I'm done." And now I'm sick for 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks, continuously getting sick over and over and over. Doesn't have to be that way. So I love the intention. One of my big ones through this holiday season, simple, but hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Have your water with you. This is my chicory. I don't do coffee. I don't do any caffeine. This is my chicory, but usually you'll see me on podcasts. I always have my water bottle. That water bottle is like my baby. It goes everywhere with me. I don't leave the house. I feel like I'm naked if I leave the house without my water bottle. You can take your water bottle to parties. You can be out sparkling water. Cheers.
This is my hydronate. I love my hydrogen water bottle and I have it every morning. This is my hydrogen water this morning that I sip on an empty stomach, get me going in the morning.
Yeah. When do you do your beam? Because I know you do the beam minerals too, don't you?
I haven't started the Beam Minerals,
Oh, okay. That's my morning cocktail.
so that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Minerals but interestingly, I do wanna talk about electrolytes because electrolytes and I just found this out at our last PH360 meeting that we had with
Mhm.
he was saying that diplomats need to have electrolytes in the afternoon. That's when our body absorbs them the most, and so I thought, "Wow, what a great tip," because I've always been told I'm dehydrated, dehydrated, dehydrated. I'm like, "But I drink water all day long. How can I be dehydrated?"
marks a need to drink electrolytes in the afternoon. That's when your body can process them the most. So, B minerals, electrolytes,
Yeah.
especially important for
The
diplomats.
Yeah, and I would say the Beam Electrolyze by Beam Minerals. That's their electrolytes. And I just swear by Beam Minerals. I don't promote products, but I promote that one because I believe so much in it. And the people I've gotten on them love them. Like you feel the difference. It's good quality. It's Beam is all humic and fulvic compounds. And a lot of these electrolytes, if you look at the ingredients in them, there's a lot of crap that they put in electrolytes, so you have to really be careful when you put that in there, but the Diplomat is it's a wet but, like, it needs moisture, right? Now, you look over on the other side of the embryological wheel, and there's the activators, and we're dry. Too much, like, we can get too much hydration, and I see that with me, and I'm just, like, constantly going. So it's really funny, like, again, understanding your health type in how you work with different things like that. So when I say hydrate, hydrate for with what your body needs, right? Because you may need some different things. You're going to need some different things than I am because we are very polar opposite on that wheel with what we need. So I love that tip. So diplomats, get in, get some Beam. I'll make sure that the code for the Beam minerals, I have a discount code for I think it's 20% off. We'll make sure that's in the show notes. But if there's another electrolyte you choose, that's fine too. But take Lisa's, if you know your diplomat, take Lisa's tip on that. And my tip on staying hydrated, put the two together and bam,
You're all set.
you're set. All right. So you just hit on electrolytes. So I'm gonna go right from that into alcohol. Again, like, people hate me, but I don't care because it is a poison for the brain. It's toxic, and having been doing DNA for 5.5 years, it comes up on my panel. It comes up on my panel what your propensities are around it causing inflammation, how well you eliminate the alcohol, the toxins, and a lot of people don't eliminate really well. A lot of people, it can tend to be inflammatory causing. Now, again, genetics is all about expression. So, does it express for everybody? No. But for most people, likely it's going to. It's another one that will drive up in excess, which we're talking holidays here. So, do we need to even say in excess? Yes, because we know, Sam. But the IL-6, TNF alpha, again, drives up those high impact inflammation SNPs. Now, I say limit alcohol. This is when people want to overindulge. But if we tie this in with the hydrate, and I've said this on another podcast, I ended up in the ER back in the day, 20 years ago, from drinking too much alcohol and no water. I was so dehydrated. They had to put 2 IV fluid bags in me. And it was 2 bottles of wine my friend and I shared. That's a lightweight, right? Don't process. If you have MTHFR issues, if you like have variants there, you're going to have a harder time processing alcohol, especially 677T variants in there. So, what one thing you can do to help mitigate is have water with the alcohol. And for each sip, and I used to do this actually after that whole business, but for each sip you take of alcohol, follow it with a couple sips of water. Stay hydrated. It will help push some of this out, right? You're still going to feel effects, but it may slow you down from just drinking. Because I see people when we go out to eat, if I have friends, I end up drinking their water because they don't touch it. They're just drinking their cocktail or their wine or whatever. Think about that with the alcohol. One trick that it works great because I know peer pressure can be an issue. People saying, "Why aren't you drinking?" First of all, because you choose not to, but I know people can get on you, and if there's some that just you're not as confident in talking about it or wanna be dealing with it, you can ask a bartender. My friend and I actually did this last year. Or a couple years ago, we went to dinner, and I said, "I'll just have sparkling water," and she said, "You know what? Why do I need a drink? I'll do sparkling water too. Could you put them in martini glasses or something?" So they came back with our sparkling water in martini glasses, a wedge of lemon and lime. And it tricks your mind because you're talking about mindset and intention, right? It tricks your mind because it looks like you're doing what everybody else is doing. Connectors, pay attention. You wanna you wanna fit in, but you have that in your mind, and yet you're drinking something that's not going to affect you. You're not gonna be drinking and driving. That's a huge one coming from the ex-cop here. But it can really trick you. Margarita glass, like, they'll put it in whatever. You can put it in a wine glass. Maybe you're just drinking a Prosecco. Who cares? But that's a really fun tip, and you will feel better, especially if you're someone who has been in a coaching program, like you're currently in it, or you're just starting it to really help you get through. Go ahead, please, if you have
Well, one
some.
of the things that I really love now is that more and more restaurants are offering mocktails.
Yeah,
And yes, you do get the sugar hit there, so you do have to
gross.
balance things out, but I love a good mocktail now and again. And the other thing that I do is that I make my own mocktail if I go over to someone's house. And I share with everybody. It's like you show up with a bottle of wine, you can show up with your mock cocktail, and I
Yep.
use, like, monk fruit sugar in my sugar water, syrup water, or whatever, and I use a lot of herbs, like fresh rosemary. I'll put, like, a sprig of rosemary. It
Basil's really good too.
I haven't tried basil, I'll have to try that, but
Ooh, try basil and, like, cucumber.
ooh, that's good, or mint. I do a lot of mint.
Mint and cucumber is another good one.
Just think about it in those terms as well. You're bringing a mocktail, especially not like you said, there are other people who are not necessarily interested in drinking either, and they might be a little bit embarrassed or whatever, and you're just like, "Oh, try this mocktail," and I've done that many times, and they're like, "This is actually really good." I'm like, "Yeah, it is," and it's sugar-free, and it's got, like, that herbal element to it with the sparkling water, or sometimes I'll put a little bit of fruit juice in it. Again, it just adds a nice little touch, and you can make it so pretty with your little sprig of cinnamon or rosemary, little cinnamon sticks sticking out of it, whatever you wanna do, and then you feel like you're treating yourself.
I love what you said about because I was gonna go there with the food, but it really pertains to the alcohol too, where there's other people that are going to be in the same boat as you, and it's that ripple effect, right? You never know what battle someone else is fighting, and you may just be able to be there and be their best ally and their team player and go, "Hey, we got this." Just like when I was at dinner that time, it was the night before New Year's Eve, so it was holiday and all, and she's like, "Why do I need to drink? I don't really need to." And ladies, if you're thinking, "I have this holiday party or this gala that I'm going to, and I wanna look great, I want my skin to look great," the alcohol's not gonna help you there, because it's gonna affect your sleep. And that's the other thing. When we're looking at things that with the immune system and that lack of sleep, alcohol and I've done a two-part on alcohol. I don't know if it will have played by now, probably not, but it really is so detrimental to your sleep cycles. And you'll see that in your skin. You're gonna have "What am I gonna do about these bags under my eyes and these dark circles from this lack of sleep or feeling hungover?" But you'll see it in your skin. When you're having a mocktail or the sparkling water, again, use your flavor. Be creative, have fun with it, but you'll see a glow in your skin, and your eyes will look nice and fresh. So think about that if you have that gown or that party dress to put on and you wanna look good, that can
Uh,
make a difference.
that actually brings me to my other tip, if I can interject,
Do it.
and that is to pick and choose, you know? So I don't think holidays should be about deprivation, right? So I think though that you need to choose, do I want this alcoholic drink or do I want to sleep really? I heard a quote the other day and I was like, "Oh, this makes so much sense." That your day actually starts the night before
Oh, yeah.
because your night of sleep is really going to impact how well the next day goes. So if the next day you're have a big family gathering, whether it be Thanksgiving meal or maybe Christmas morning, again, stop and be mindful and think, should I indulge in alcohol or other things or stay up really late that might impact the next day's celebrations? What is more important to you? And maybe it is going out and having a great time the night before. That's fine. Go with that guilt, embrace it, enjoy it. That's a choice you made, right? But
Yep.
just be mindful and think about that because I do think that it's unrealistic to think that you can do it all.
Yeah, and I also think because I see it again, come up in DNA testing, and most of these people know it, the alcohol dependency propensities. So if you're able to have just 1 or 2 that night instead of I've seen it, 7, 8, or more, and some people can't. Maybe they haven't been drinking for a while and people are pushing them. So I'm gonna actually put this out there to people that don't have issues. Don't push your friends that are choosing not to drink. Allow them that freedom that they're choosing to try to make their body, their mind, maybe it's their brain, maybe it's whatever. Like me, the increased risk with Alzheimer's. I don't want that. So there's no alcohol that's gonna push me towards that, right? But how about why don't we get supportive of the people that are choosing to make a difference in their life? Instead of us giving the peer pressure, because maybe like start looking at yourself if you're pressuring people to eat something or drink something that they don't want to, where's that coming from in you? Is it because you know that you shouldn't too and misery loves company, right? Or you don't want to see someone else succeed? These things go deep. So you can ask yourself these things too. Why is it so important to me to have someone be my party buddy? Is my party buddy, is my friend just as fun if they're not drinking? So give them some support. Think about that because maybe that one drink could push them over the edge and going down a dangerous rabbit hole.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people don't wear their health conditions on their sleeve. I mean, you don't
That
walk
you
up and
don't know
go,
what else
"Hey,
someone's
by the
fighting,
way,
right?
I can't do this and this and this and this because there's health conditions." That's too much information. You're there to have fun, right?
Yep.
My
Yep.
go-to, and this shuts people down every time, I'm the designated driver.
Yep. I'm driving.
Like, that's what I tell people. Like, when they're pushing a drink on me, I'm like, "You know what? I'm the designated driver. I can't
Yeah.
I'm gonna be safe tonight." And that usually works. It usually works, as long as you're not, like, going over to a neighbor's where it's walking distance. Designated walker. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at any
Well,
rate,
the sad thing, though, is that we have to think about it that way, that someone's pushing this on me.
yeah.
Let's change that. Think about that today, people. If you get one takeaway from that, if you're the booze pusher, the food pusher, think about that. Think about the guests coming to your house. You don't know what battle somebody is fighting mentally or physically. So let's all just be supportive of everybody's choices.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you make that choice, own it. Don't fill yourself with guilt. It's just a choice that you made. You're an adult. We have free will, right? No one's forcing you to do anything either way. So go with it, make your choice and enjoy it. This is one of my biggest tips when it comes to holidays, parties, anytime parties, anytime dinners, get-togethers, whatever, is if you have food issues. I know you have some. I definitely have some. Try living with me. Celiac, allergy to eggs and dairy, right? So I'm limited. And histamine issues. So it does limit me. Although I will say that Stephen Wright interviewed him for the podcast, the Healthy Gut Company or healthygut.com. Their DAO product, Hista
It's
Harmony,
the harmony. Yeah, love it.
is the best
Yep.
I have ever come across in my years of dealing with histamine. They are the tiniest pill. When I got them, I was like, "Oh my god, it's 2 poppy seeds put together. If I drop it, I'm gonna lose it." If you have histamine issues, and I'll put a code in there for that too, you can go and eat some high histamine foods or have that one drink if that's what plagues you. And you're like, "I can't because of the histamine." It's a DAO. He said the difference is it's the only one that's enteric coated to actually make it to the gut. It's so rapid in what I've noticed in handling the histamine. I can eat Indian food, which is tomato-based, which wrecks me. And I'm also taking one at night because histamine can act like a neurotransmitter and keep me awake. I take it at night. It has helped my sleep. It's a fantastic product. It's not expensive, but we'll put that in there. So anyway, just went off on that. But if you have food issues, you can't there's some hosts that'll say they'll try to help, but unless you've been cooking this way It's like, "It's gluten-free." I'm like, "No, but it has egg." And you feel terrible, and they feel terrible. Take your own food. Take at least a couple of dishes that you know you love, and talk to your host ahead of time and just let them know, "Hey, I have these major food issues. Are you okay?" And I'm telling you, I have never heard of anybody, because 'cause I've had clients do it. I do it all the time without apology. I've never had a host or a client say that someone got angry with them or upset. They've tried to be more than helpful, and a lot of times it's a healthier version and people like it. So again, you're affecting that ripple effect. That God, I take my friend Dave, Daddy Galelli. Give me a shout out, Dave. He's done our last 4 Thanksgivings. I make the turkey, which I will put the turkey brine recipe. I have to put this down. Brine. Turkey brine, it's a dry brine. Brine it for 4 days. It's the most amazing turkey ever. And so I'm in charge of the turkey because I want the leftovers for soup, right? Nobody else is getting them, I'm taking them. But then I literally bring 6 or 7 other dishes with me. I cook just like I'm having Thanksgiving at my house, and I bring it all. From the homemade cranberry sauce, I do a stuffing that is sweet potatoes, and the first time I took it, I just made 1 tray of it because 'cause I'm like, "No one else is gonna eat this. I'll get the leftovers because I love it." It was gone, and the trays of the regular stuffing were there. Oh god, I have no leftovers, now I like double or triple recipes. So again, you turn people on to different things, but it's a way for you, even if it's 1 or 2 dishes that you know that you love, dive into
Mm.
and enjoy them. So you can do that, take your food. I'm gonna have some other things from here too, but do you have something I think you might wanna add, like,
Yeah,
onto it?
so a couple things just revisiting the food thing. I find that most people are curious about the gluten-free
Totally.
things or dairy-free or whatever, like, how does that really taste? And that curiosity is fun.
It
It's fun.
is.
So be sure to bring a lot because people will want to sample what you've made. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, "Wow, this is really good." They're almost surprised. It's like, "It doesn't taste like cardboard." No, it doesn't. It's actually very, very flavorful. And the other tip with food is, let's say you're going out to dinner. I get on the restaurant's website and I have scanned that menu and I have already chosen
Totally.
exactly what I'm going to order. Because when you get there, you're socializing, you're having fun, and making a last minute decision, you could very easily miss out on the fact that it had this ingredient that may not sit well with you or whatever. But if I've pre planned what I'm going to order, that anxiety, I don't know, just
Yeah,
drifts away. I'm like, "I know exactly what I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna be healthy, there's something on the menu that I can eat," and then I can just relax and socialize and prevent everybody else from looking at the menu and figuring out what they want. But,
exactly, and communicate to waitstaff. "This
yeah,
is what I can't have," or
yeah,
what you're choosing not to have, right? You can have anything, but you're choosing not to because of whatever you're dealing with. I do this all the time, and I say, "Look, I'm gonna be your pain in the butt." I tip well, right? And sometimes like, they'll tell you, "Have this and this and this. These are the best choices for that." Sometimes they'll go back and talk to the chef. I've had them create things for me that the food comes and they're like, "Wait a minute. How come you got where did you get that? Was it on the menu?" I'm like, "No, because they created it. Were you not listening?" "No, because they were too busy drinking." But you just never know what you might find, but they'll work with you. If I don't want the starch, I don't eat starch at night. It doesn't sit well with me. I said, "Can you double up the veggies?"
yeah,
Or if those aren't in butter, they'll say, "Oh, we'll do them in olive oil for you." Just don't be afraid to communicate because they want you just as much as you wanna have a pleasant experience, they want you to have a pleasant experience. And sometimes the chefs get to have a little fun with it too. So I love that you said that. Look ahead of time. I'll tell you, and this has happened to me a couple of times where I get there, I'm like all excited to have this thing I saw on the menu, and I get there, they go, "Yeah, that's
yeah,
not a menu anymore." What? Why? This is why I came here specifically for this. I've had that happen a couple times, but again, ask, is there something similar to that? but but that's absolutely the best thing you can do if you're going out somewhere. Also, if it's like a banquet, I went to the governor's ball in Wyoming. It was a military ball, the guy I dated years ago. And the choices were beef, with a gravy, which I knew was gonna be glutened out, or a chicken with a cream sauce. I'm like, I won't be able to eat. They had a place, and I've had where I've called the food people, the at the hotel or the banquet area, whatever. They came out with prime rib for me, and I think it was the half of a cow, and everybody else got these pieces that had this glop on them, and my whole table was like, "Yours looks so good." I was giving out. Like, they gave me so much that, and you know how I can eat. I was giving my prime rib away. They're like, "This is so good. Ours tastes like shit." 'Cause it's got this crap on it, right? So, again, don't be afraid to put out there what you're dealing with. They will look they will come. I'll never forget their whole all their faces at that table, the men and women were like, even my date, he was pissed. He's like, "Why'd you get that? Because you got food issues?" "Yeah, I'm special." Lay it up. Be the princess or a king for a day. Do you have another one? Because I have one more.
I just have one to wrap up. So celebrate your wins. Like at the end, it's so important to go, I am so proud of myself because I did this and this and this, and this really impacted my health in this way. I think that's a really important thing to do. Also, let go with grace. When you get done with your holiday, you're like, you know what? I didn't miss that evening drink Christmas Eve, or I didn't miss that wine with Thanksgiving. Just go back and go, yeah, you know what? I actually felt better because of the choices I made. Having that 30-minute walk after Thanksgiving dinner to help with that sugar crash and the glucose and all that kind of stuff, that made us feel better. Maybe that'll make that a family tradition. We had a lot of fun. So, my husband's big thing is raking leaves because we get a whole bunch of leaf fall right on Thanksgiving. If you come to our house for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, you're gonna be outside.
You're raking leaves. You're
And
gonna be
it's
watching it.
fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
We're throwing them at each other. My dog is diving into it, but it is exercise that helps process that heavy meal. So, again, think about those opportunities. And then again, just revisit those 3 words that you had that you set at the beginning. Do I feel joyful? Do I feel vibrant? Do I feel refreshed and rejuvenated? And if the answer to that is no, go back and just think, is there something I could have tweaked to make myself feel better?
One thing.
What thing?
Just
And
one thing.
carry that with you. Like you
Yeah.
said, holidays don't end January 1st, right? Or
Nope.
your health the holidays end actually, but your health doesn't end January 1st. You can
Mm-mm.
carry those ideas with you into the new year. So
I love it, and that's funny because my next thing down was move. Like, just move. 10 to 15 minutes after a meal will lower blood sugar. And again, this is one of our big issues. The blood sugar drives freaking everything. And you can I was researching this the other day because I'm actually gonna do a podcast on why walking actually is exercise, Gabrielle Lyons. But I was actually listening to a doctor, I think it was too, another doctor talking about this. And then I was reading up on it that even if you do it 10 minutes 3 times a day, so 10 minutes after each meal, is just as beneficial, if not more, than going for one long walk. Break it up, and you will likely be able to find 10-minute windows as opposed to an hour window, especially around the holidays. And if it's cold, you'll be outside little shorter time, bundle up, shorter time. But yeah, like you said, make it a tradition. We do that at daddy's house. We go, but whether it's Easter, 4th of July, whatever, we all eat and then we take a big group walk around the block, like a half a mile. You just feel better. Do dishes. Right? If you're at someone's house, offer to help do dishes. It's moving. So just think about it. Keep this body moving. We tend to be sedentary in winter, which again creates issues with the immune system if you're not moving. Out exercise will amp up your immune system. So keep moving. And my last one, and this again comes from decade. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. I can't believe I actually retired from enforcement like over a year and a half ago. But the year it was almost yeah, 9.5 years ago. Jeez Louise. I had I hear people taking, I'm just gonna go and eat all the things this weekend or this day, and they'll indulge in everything. That kind of flips the switch, and I don't care what the health type is because I've seen it with them all. It flips a switch of a couple of different things. One is, now I'm bad. I've gone totally off the rails. Fuck it. The other is, now I don't feel good. So what difference is it gonna make? Or can I get back on track? I had a family I was actually coaching several years ago. It was a mother, father, and a tween and a teen. And they went into Nebraska to their families for Christmas. And they were all doing amazing. They were cooking, they were doing everything. They go there, and they contacted me when they got home, and they said, "We had the worst car trip home."
Yes.
The kids were like, "I've got heartburn." Like, they were all sick on the way home, like, literally feeling mentally miserable, physically miserable because they went off on everything for 2 days. Now, pick a couple of things. Now, again, if I'm not a sugar person, but damn it, I like my pumpkin pie, and I have an egg-free version, and I go off on I have this group of other desserts, and I'll pick one of them. And they're all from, like, my old paleo days, and I just tweak them a little bit more. Don't use the full fat coconut milk, things like that, or coconut oil, but I make them healthy for me and definitely healthier than the stuff you're gonna buy in the store or that grandma's gonna make, right? The things that we've grown up with. And they disappear, disappear up from the table. So and when I have them, I'll take those because I want both of them. I have them, and I literally have these little tiny slivers of both of them, and I savor it. Stop and savor. We get into socializing, and we're talking, and we're not thinking, and we're shoveling, and then you're like, "I spent all the hours making this meal, and it's gone in 2 seconds, and I didn't taste it." Like, for that fraction of a second, it tasted good. We're not taking the time to chew thoroughly, and we wonder, why am I reaching for the Tums and the omeprazole, like, all this crap, right, for the heartburn and indigestion, because we haven't taken the time, and we haven't even enjoyed it. So slow down. Take Pick a couple of things. If it's grandma's stuffing or your mom's stuffing or the sweet potatoes you want that are just less than ideal for you and can likely cause issues, especially if you're eating an evening dinner. In a late afternoon before 6 o'clock, your body's gonna assimilate that better and go take the walk and have something super light. Have some leftover veggies at night, something, right? And some turkey. Keep it lighter at night. If it's an evening meal, think about where you wanna have that special thing and just have a smaller amount of it and say, just take the time to taste it, smell it, the texture. What is it like? Think about it. What is this texture I'm liking? Is it because it's creamy, chewy, crispy? What is it? And really be in that moment with some of the food, not just the atmosphere around you. And I find that by doing that, people will go less off the rails and go, I my one client, Cal, who's going to be on the program, we've already recorded. He's lost over 60 pounds. He's had several birthdays, grandkids, mother, like their 95th birthday or something, 92nd. And when he sends me his food log, he's a birthday cake. And he goes, but it was just like a little piece or a couple of bites. The other thing I do is any of the things that I come home with, I immediately put into Ziploc bags and I freeze them. I still have last year's screw up of a chocolate ginger pie. There's still pieces in that freezer because I don't get that craving, but they're there. So you can do it that way too. Take those things that you like, put them in there, and one time you might want to go for that and it's in there. You can freeze everything, people. Everything freezes, trust me. So that's like what I'm thinking as far as instead of picking a whole day that this is what you choose, do little bits, and that way because things add up. They add up over time. So the smaller you make it, the less it's going to add up. So have that little sliver or have a couple of bites and move on to something else, but savor
Well,
it, enjoy it.
and if this is your first holiday season after eating super healthy for a few months, Trust us, you are going to want to eat little bites. I had a client tell me that she's been doing so well. She's getting married and actually Saturday, she's getting married on Saturday. Anyway, a few weeks ago, she had a bag of Fritos. And she's,
Oh,
I don't know what I was thinking. She says, I was bloated for 2 or 3 days.
yeah.
Said, remember that right before your wedding. Your rehearsal dinner, you do not want to overindulge and then wake up the next day and not feel great for your and she's, "Oh, yeah, you're right." So do
Yeah.
be careful as you're headed into these holiday seasons. Just be mindful, indulge, don't have guilt, thoroughly savor it, enjoy it, okay? But be mindful,
Yep.
you
Make
know,
smart choices
make
for
smart.
you.
Yep.
And don't listen to other people. Don't let them guilt you in. Take responsibility for you. If you're someone that's working with us or has worked with us, you've already taken responsibility for you, continue it because you might help someone else take responsibility for their body and be in a better place. You never know whose life you could save or make a difference in. Maybe they're waking up every day feeling horrible. And then the holidays come around and they wanna indulge more and eat more crap because that's their safety blanket. You can show them there's other safety blankets too. They don't need to do something like that. So, hopefully our tips have helped. Lisa, did you have a little guide you put together?
Yeah, no, I did. I put together a guide, and it really does go through a lot of the tips that we talked about, and I like the way it laid out in terms of step 6, just reflect on the intentions for the new year. Step 5, create meaningful moments. So all of the things that Susan and I shared today, I did put in a guide, and I'm more than happy to attach it to this podcast. So
Awesome. So, we'll put that in there. Lisa guide. I'm making up my list so that we make sure that we have all these in the show notes. The other thing, I have recipes, so many recipes. Reach out, go onto the podcast chat, Everyday Epigenetics, Raw Real Relatable chat page that no one chats on. Go in there if you have questions about some holiday recipes that you might like to try. Like I said, I'll see if we can get the one. And it was by Primally Inspired. I got this like 10 years ago. I found it by Kelly from Primally Inspired, I think it was. But it's this dry turkey brine, and it is phenomenal. It's like orange zest. I think there's like a tablespoon of maple sugar, which is like nothing. The coarse salt, some spices, like herbs, fresh herbs, and it is the crispiest turkey skin. It is the I hate the word moist meat. It always makes me chuckle. What is the most moistest meat? Whatever, most moist meat, I don't know how you say it. Really super moist meat, juicy, like, fantastic. And again, you just rub it on, under, in, and then cover it up lightly, stick it in your fridge for up to 4 or 5 days, and it's phenomenal. So I'll put that recipe in there, but if you have any others that you're looking for, hit me up. I'm super easy to access. And if you have a pH 360, if you have a pH profile, let me know because we can certainly make sure that we look to incorporate foods that are on your better list or use ones that are just a little healthier for you so it's not going to be too detrimental. So, let's get through this holiday season together. Let's all give each other support and have a happy, healthy, not just holiday, but winter season and not perpetuate this bullshit of cold and flu season because we're controlling it. Why do some of us not end up there? There's a reason. But enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining me, Ms. St. Ledger.
thank you. Always a pleasure to be here. Love
And
it.
if anybody wants to reach out to you, how would they reach you?
So they can reach me at lisa@resolutionhealth360.com. You can also visit my website, resolutionhealth360.com. And I've got on my socials, Resolution Health 360. That's all you have to remember. Hit
There
that
you
up.
go.
Do a little search. Do a
There you
search
go.
on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can find me there. Thank you.
All right, everybody, hopefully this was helpful. Give us some feedback and hopefully this helps and get out there, make it a great day and be your most authentic self. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for tuning into our podcast.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, we'd love for you to share it, leave a review or comment, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Help us get this information out to everyone who could benefit, and we'll keep bringing you the content you crave.
You can also check out our podcast site at everydayepigenetics.co and sign up for our newsletter to stay updated on upcoming episodes. The link is in the show notes.
If you're interested in DNA or epigenetic coaching with Susan, or Radiant Life coaching for deep inner work with Kate, our contact info is in the show notes below.
Now go and make it a great day and let your most authentic self shine.